Hey everybody, welcome back. Day 6 Outdoors. Today we're going to talk about the Hustler Raptor SD with the 54-inch deck and 25 horse Kohler engine. I'm going to give you my 90-hour review on it, cover the features of the mower, some of the issues I've had with it, and maybe how I've resolved some of the issues. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's take a minute. We'll walk around the old lawnmower here, take a look at a couple of the features of it, and then we'll go through the some of the pain points I've seen, as well as some minor issues I've had with it, and we'll go from there. So here it is, the Hustler Raptor SD with a 54-inch deck on it. This has the 25 horse Kohler on the back. I know a lot of the newer ones are carrying the Kawasaki engine, just different platforms running with. This mower does have a serviceable rear end on it. You'll see in there's some black filters in behind the tires. Clear back in here. Snuck up in there, you kind of see it, black filter. This is considered a fully serviceable rear end. You said it has that filter, which runs from the general hydraulic reservoir there. It's obviously just the overfill to keep the hydraulics flooded. It does have the premium air filter on it. So under here you're going to have the bigger air filter. So far it stays pretty clean. I probably should get a new one here before too long, because we're calling this the 100-hour review, but we're just shy of 100 hours. And that is the original filter. I haven't had a ton of grass in it. I mean, I blow it out every once in a while, but you gotta be super careful because you don't want to put a hole in that filter and suck dirt into your engine. On the back here, it does have the guard to protect the motor. I'm not sure when they made that a standard item. Maybe it isn't, but I know I've seen mowers without it on the back. Kind of nice, especially when you back up. You don't want to throw something in the back of the motor and cause a problem there. On this side, you got a little bit of a storage container, I guess you would call it. You can put a couple things in there. I don't do a whole lot because when you're mowing quick, you hit a lot of bumps, it gets bumpy, and I don't want it to fall out. Seat's pretty comfortable. I enjoy it. Could maybe use a little bit better suspension, but for the price point, it's quite a nice little unit to ride on. Definitely ridden on a lot worse. The armrests are a savior there. You have a cup holder here, put the bottle of water in there, beer, whatever you feel like putting in there. Seems to stay put for the most part. Got your fill cap for your fuel. I think it's like a 2.5 gallon fuel tank, I believe. It runs on a whole about a gallon an hour is what this motor consumes. So it takes me, I can about 1 3/4 times in my yard. I've got an acre and just about an acre and a half, a little bit more. It seems to do a good job. The battery's located here under the seat. So far I haven't had to touch the battery, so that's good news. We'll keep it that way. And then again on this side you'll see another storage holder. Another nice thing about this mower is when you have the drive handles out and you're off the mower, it automatically puts the parking brake on. I know a lot of other mowers, they use either another handle or another type of step pedal or something to put the brake on. But this one's really nice. You open the handles and she's locked in park. Over here you have your incremental adjustment and 1/4 inch marks, and then your foot pedal here to drop your deck. It is a floating deck on this mower. Nothing fancy about it. It really is just kind of a bolt with a rubber washer on it with a pin on the bottom. So far no issues with it. It's worked really well. You'll see my nice zip tie, and a lot of people use tarp straps, but I've always used the zip tie that came with the mower, and it's been holding up really well, so no reason to really fix that. Under here you'll see I actually have gator blades on it. I was having issues here next to the driver's seat. You'll see you got your throttle, your power takeoff, and then your key. This does have the automatic choke, which I haven't had an issue with yet. I could see that maybe being a problem down the road, but so far 90 hours she's running like a top with no issues. You'll see under the deck here I've got gator blades on it. I switched out from the OEM ones. Personal preference here, but I think they do a good job. Do a little better job at chopping the grass up and ejecting it out, especially if it has a little bit of dampness to it. It seems to do a good job. So a couple of the issues I've had with the mower. Apparently Hustler was having issues with their paint line at some point in time. This is a 2018 mower, and it sounds like, well, actually technically according to serial numbers, 2017, but I bought it new in 2018. The mower deck was chipping paint off, and it wasn't because of I was hitting something. It was just, it sounds like there were some impurities in the paint line, and so Hustler graciously, thankfully, they replaced the entire deck shell with a new one this year. So we'll see how that works out. I did have a couple peeling on this component here, this top bar. Other than that, that's been the only paint issues I've had. Another problem I've had, I think that's been kind of an issue with this deck, which sounds like that might be why they changed this design. But for whatever reason, this bottom bar here, it seems like grass catches and doesn't come out as well. The deck actually doesn't clean up very well either. There's some grass that sticks up inside there, and you have to get up there and scrape it out. Not a huge deal. That was mostly with the old uplift blades that came on the mower. I did switch them out to these Gator blades like I mentioned before, and I've had a significant improvement in the performance of it. Correlation does not necessarily mean causation, I guess. So we'll see what happens here on how these blades wear down, if they are any better or worse. That was another issue I had. Another one that was fixed under warranty, which seems to be, it's not necessarily Hustler's issue, but the cooler motor around the valve covers, there was leaking oil, but under warranty they replaced the gaskets and fixed it all up this spring. Haven't had any issues since. We'll keep an eye on that though. Other than that, we've been changing the oils normal. It was just last done at 75 hours, so we have a little bit of time to go on this one yet. And really my last pet peeve, and I'm really not sure if it's something that's my issue or overall, is, for one, they don't mark the height adjustment on the deck. They put letters, which corresponds to absolutely nothing. So I marked the 3-inch height, which happens to be on this mower G. I mower a little bit taller than that, but it is what it is, right? And in conjunction with that, if you're mowing any rough terrain, my backyard isn't the smoothest thing, and apparently if you're bouncing a lot, this pin that holds the deck height will come out, and I had it come out and fall in the yard, and I was mowing all the way down low, which was not a good deal. And it sounds like I haven't really heard anybody else's feedback on that, but I kept having issues. Maybe I need to add flex forks to the front of this, I don't know. But what I ended up doing is putting a pin across the front of this and a cotter pin in it. It fixed the issue. So so far so good. I don't change the height, so it really didn't matter to me one bit, and it stayed on since. So just a thought if you guys are having that same problem. The overall construction of this mower, I'd say it's pretty on point. It has an all welded deck, very strong. I wouldn't be afraid to smack into something with it, although you could bend something else. It's got a tube frame. Like I said, the front tires are not solid. They are air-filled. Gives you some suspension there. And the same in the back. Haven't had a ton of issues with traction. Every once in a while I'll lose a little bit with these. And I know Hustlers came out with some different tires in the back to help with that. We'll get a little more side bite when you're turning. Overall, I'd say the construction is very, very quality. They didn't really skimp on much from what I can tell. And it's a very good intermediate mower. I'd recommend it to anybody looking at getting one. Just be mindful to kind of watch out for a couple of things I pointed out to you here. And I always double check, because it's one of those things. You have your dipstick here, check your oil before every time you mow, just to double check. A lot of stuff I'll tell you about is in the owner's manual, and as well as making sure you check your air filter on a regular basis. But remember, there is such thing as over servicing, so you don't want to open that too often, because you may get dust down there into the carburetor. Thanks for joining me on another episode of K6 Outdoors. Hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you have any feedback, positive, negative. I like constructive criticism. It always makes these videos better. Let me know if there's more information you'd like to have on this. I don't know how much to dig into detail. Obviously, a lot of you that are watching this either maybe have this mower already or looking at getting one. But for me, I know that when I was looking to buy it, I was trying to find some videos of quality that had some good detail in them. So it's not how fast you mow your yard, it's how well you mow your yard fast. And with this bad boy, she goes pretty quick. Thanks for joining you. See ya.